When most people think of the University of Tennessee, sports is generally what first comes to mind, respectively considering the Volunteers' lengthy, decorated track record. Sports are without a doubt an integral aspect of the university. If you look out over campus, it's hard to miss the gargantuan football stadium, all the facilities, the huge aquatic center, and the odd-looking sports bubble. But what some fail to notice is the fact that the university is quite strong academically as well. And let's face it, universities are academic institutions. As the state's largest research institution, the University of Tennessee has an incredible amount of different interesting projects and research happening every day. Center Hall, or formerly the White Avenue Biology Annex, is nestled between Clinch and White Avenues. For years it has sat quietly with little to no activity, but as of a couple of months ago it has undergone a complete renovation with new state-of-the-art greenhouse and biology classrooms. And this $5 million machine. Is there a man behind this machine, you may ask? His name is Dr. William J. Weber, the Governor's Chair UT-ORNL Professor for Radiation Effects on Materials, who has accomplished his PhD in nuclear engineering from the University of Wisconsin.
It's a 3 million volt tandem accelerator. It's often called a particle accelerator. We primarily just accelerate ions, which are just atoms which we give a charge to. And to accelerate the ions, we have to give them a negative charge. So we have to add an electron to the atoms. And because you have, in the center of the accelerator, this very high positive voltage, they're attracted and accelerated to that terminal.
Dr. Weber's plans from a research perspective would be to better understand how we could use these ion beams to modify the properties of materials to improve those, or to say engineer these properties of materials by irradiating them with the ion beams. Getting from place to place is essential in everyone's life. Without it, we would be stationary, inanimate objects, especially if you live on a college campus. These days, there are so many different forms of transportation that choosing the best form would be an endless task. The big question is which form of transportation is the best, and why? Is there any conclusive research? Is it a matter of preference, or what? One man here at the University of Tennessee is currently trying to find the answer to those questions. Meet Chris Cherry, Assistant Professor in Civil and Environmental Engineering. The University of California, Berkeley graduate was in search for a good research project back in 2001 when he stumbled upon one while abroad in Kunming, China.
So electric bikes in China are totally widespread. Almost every city has numbers and numbers of electric bikes over bicycles in many cases, out of cars in many cases.
While in China, he discovered the concept of an e-bike, a bicycle that has an electric engine attached which kicks in to assist when pedaling becomes difficult for the rider. With e-bikes so prevalent overseas, it inspired Chris to start up the nation's first electronic bike sharing program here at UT. It's called Cycle You Share. The project is open to all students and faculty and costs nothing. Students can access the bike simply by swiping their vol cards. The first station was deployed in Presidential Court about 5 months ago, and the most recent, new, fully solar-powered off-the-grid unit was deployed about a month ago at the agriculture campus.
So, Cycle You Share is a concept that was born out of this idea that we could share bikes, which is kind of an existing concept of new technology that's emerged in the last 5 or 6 years, and then also introducing electric bicycles into that platform. And we chose to do that because there's a lot of potential, I think, for people to become more inclined to ride a bike on hot days or hilly terrain or other types of barriers that people need to overcome to bicycle. So in the US, there's not been any deployments of electric bike sharing systems, and one of the things we set out to do was to test some of the technologies that would be required, develop these technologies, put together a system from the ground up.
So next time you're feeling lazy, there's no excuse. Go out and give Cycle You Share a try. Think killing trees is bad? Think again. At the Center of Renewable Carbon on the agriculture campus, Adam Taylor explains how we should inform ourselves before assuming what's good or bad for the environment.
I'm an associate professor in the Department of Forestry, Wildlife, and Fisheries.
Just from a burn and wood perspective, wood has some serious advantages over coal in particular. The fuel density of wood is about half that of coal. So for example, with recycled paper, in some cases, depending on the situation that you're in, it would make more sense to burn the paper for energy than to go through the recycling process.
Believe it or not, the Germans were using wood-fueled vehicles in the 40s. Researchers like these are who pushed the thriving academic community further.